My name is Imani Blair, and I am one of the presidents for Ann Arbor Pioneer BSU. And I'm very excited to be sharing this book with you guys. So the book we are going to be reading today is called Dominic Grows Sweetcorn, written by Mandy Ross and illustrated by Allison Barlett. This book is about a young boy named Dominic and him going on an adventure with his granddad, growing sweet corn and learning the history behind growing sweet corn in his family. So without further ado, let's get started. Dominic Grows Sweet Corn, written by Mandy Ross and illustrated by Allison Barlett. One Friday after school, Dominic went for tea at Granddad Wilford and Grandma Dora's. Sweet corn on the cob, said Dominic. Yum. We used to grow sweet corn back in Jamaica, said Granddad. Now I've stopped work. I'm going to try growing it here. You want to help, my boy? Yes, please, said Dominic. Next day, Dominic and Granddad Wilford went out into the garden. It looks like a jungle, groaned Dominic. Dominic and Granddad cleared and weeded all weekend, and all the next weekend, too. Granddad, what did you grow back in Jamaica? Asked Dominic. We had lemon trees, orange trees, lime, and mangoes, said Granddad. It was cool, high in the hills, perfect for growing coffee. Coffee? Asked Dominic. Yes, nodded Granddad. We brewed our own fresh coffee. I can smell it now. And in the field behind the house, we grew sweet corn. Much better, said Granddad when they cleared the weeds. Now we need to dig the soil to get the air in. Lots of worms, said Dominic as he dug. I like to see worms a-wiggling, laughed Granddad. I remember the chickens used to come and peck at them. Chickens? Asked Dominic. Yes, my boy, laughed Granddad. We children looked after the chickens. We collected the eggs before we went to school. And we had pigs and goats too, and a few cows. We drank the milk fresh and warm from the cow. Next Saturday, round at Granddad's, Dominic planted the seeds. 2 in each little pot, said Granddad. They put the pots on a sunny windowsill, ready to get growing. Did you grow everything you needed in Jamaica? Asked Dominic. No, we trade, said Granddad. Each week a trader would come from the lowlands. He'd bring sugarcane or cocoa or jars of honey. The fishermen would bring baskets of fish to trade. We'd sell our lemons or mangoes in exchange. Then we'd brew some coffee and swap the news. 2 weeks later, the baby sweet corn plants were sprouting. Can we plant them out soon? Asked Dominic, watering the row of pots. When the weather's a bit warmer, said Granddad. Shall I tell you another story about Jamaica? Yes, please. One time when I was growing up, said Granddad, I saw a young girl coming, about 17 years old. My dad's ill, she said. I brought the sugar cane to trade. Oh my, she was a pretty girl. I made sure to bring our very best coffee, smiled Granddad. And that was how I met your Grandma Dora. Trading sugar cane, smiled Dominic. Granddad nodded. After a while, we wanted to get married, but there was no work for us there in Jamaica. When the weather had warmed up a bit, Dominic and Granddad planted the baby sweet corn plants in the garden. I hope we grow enough sweet corn to trade, smiled Dominic. So did you come here to find work? He asked Granddad as they planted. Yes, said Granddad. They were asking folk to come over here for all sorts of jobs. In the hospital, on the buses. Me and Grandma Dora, we made a plan. We were going to get married, come and work over here for 5 years, then go back home. But you're still here, laughed Dominic. Yes, said Granddad. This is our home now. Granddad, our sweet corn's growing, called Dominic next time he visited. Shall I water them again? Yes, help them grow tall and strong, said Granddad, just like you. Did you come to Britain by boat? Asked Dominic. No, by plane, said Granddad. It was a long journey. We came to stay with your great-uncle Arthur, who was over here already. We felt so cold when we arrived. The first day we were too cold to go outside, and the next day too. Dominic and Granddad watered the sweet corn every few days. Soon they could see small cobs starting to grow and grow. "Did you find a job, Granddad?" asked Dominic. "Yes, though it took me a week or two, knocking on doors and asking for work. Some bosses turned me away when they saw my face," said Granddad. "But at last I got a job in a factory, making bits for car engines. And your Grandma Dora, she worked at the hospital." At last, the sweet corn cobs were nice and fat, with silky hair growing at their tips. "Are they ripe?" asked Dominic. Granddad pulled open the leafy cover. "You press one of the seeds with your fingernail like this," he said. "See that milky juice coming out? That means they're ripe." Dominic and Granddad picked lots of fat cobs. "Did you and Grandma Dora work hard?" asked Dominic. "Yes," sighed Granddad. "And harder still when the babies came. Your dad and his sisters, Grandma Dora, looked after them while I went to work. Then at night, I'd see to the babies, and your Grandma Dora worked nights at the hospital. Work, work, work." "Sounds hard, Granddad," said Dominic. "It was," smiled Granddad. "But now I can stay at home and look after my garden with you, my boy." "Morning, Wilford," called Jim from over the fence. "Morning, young Dominic. Do you want some tomatoes? I've grown too many. We can't eat them all." Dominic looked at Granddad and smiled. "We'll trade," said Dominic. "We'll give you some of our sweet corn on the cob in exchange." That afternoon, Dominic and Grandma Dora made tomato salad while Granddad Wilford barbecued sweet corn on the cobs. Then they invited Jim from over the fence. "What a garden feast we've grown," smiled Granddad Wilford. "And traded," said Dominic. Delicious. The end. Hi, everyone. I hope you guys enjoyed the book. Thank you so much for allowing me to read this story to you guys with the Ann Arbor Pioneer Black Student Union and their Read and Represent program. I really enjoyed this book, and I hope you guys did too. Have a great day.